why didn't you get the interview? Why didn't they call you? Why aren't you qualified? Why don't they want you? Woe is me. I've heard the stories again and again and again, and the woe is me stories of women who just go on and on and on and on about why these companies aren't calling. Are you overqualified and you're applying for positions that are easy for you to get, where it's not even like a stretch? You be like, I know I'm gonna get this. Number 2, your resume is whack. Wizzack, wiggity whack. I created a course and I started teaching 20 years ago officers how to write the officer evaluation reports, which is pretty much resume. This is what women don't want to do. You want to relegate that to a resume writer who promises to be like Rumpelstiltskin, to take the straw that you give them and turn it into gold. That's a lie. So if your resume is whack, you're not getting the interview. Last one, LinkedIn profile. When they continue to promote men over you again and again and again, and you playing victim, like you're creating this.
Hey, Christy Rutherford here. Welcome to the Pay Raise Playbook, where we assist you with getting to the next level personally and professionally by sharing insight with you so you can have the courage and clarity to stop avoiding the hard things and take the actions that scare you. While you're here, go ahead and like and subscribe to this podcast, because I am sure you're going to love it. Let's go ahead and get started.
Welcome everyone to Money Loves Happy People. I'm your host, Christy Rutherford, and today we're going to be talking about 3 reasons you didn't get the interview. So while you're here, go ahead and subscribe, to this podcast, and leave me a comment. Let me know your feedback and what you want me to talk about in future episodes. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Number 1. Why didn't you get the interview? Why didn't they call you? Why aren't you qualified? Why don't they want you? Woe is me. I've heard the stories again and again and again, and the woe is me stories of women who just go on and on and on and on about why these companies aren't calling. Number 1, are you overqualified? Are you overqualified and you're applying for positions that are easy for you to get, where it's not even like a stretch? You be like, I know I'm going to get this. Because here's the thing. Women will apply for a job if it's 20 qualifications that are needed or desired, 20 desired things. You have 25. Of the 5 requirements, you got 10. And then you get mad that they don't call you. It's because you're overqualified. A lot of times women are overqualified for jobs. You know you're overqualified. They tell you that you're overqualified, yet you feel defeated. I don't understand. How can you feel defeated when people are telling you you don't belong there? How are you defeated when they don't call you because you chose an easy job as opposed to choosing the stretch job where you belong? It's a stretch to you because your mindset hasn't caught up with how great you are. So if you're not being called for the jobs that are easy, stop choosing easy-ish. If you're not being called for the jobs that are easy, level up. Queen, put your crown back on and go where you belong, and get off the ground clucking with the chickens, wondering why they pulling your feathers out. They know who they are. Do you know who you are? They know what they have and what they have to offer. You are overqualified. They're not calling you because you're overqualified. They tell you, why are you here? What is the barrier in your mind to owning how great you already are? That's the work. That's the work. Why can't you see how great you are? Who told you that you weren't awesome? Who doesn't allow you to show up in your full shine? Who doesn't allow you to show up unapologetically, owning all your power without being angry about it and without being a victim about it? So if people aren't calling you back for the easy jobs, stop choosing easy, because easy is toxic. If people aren't calling you back for the jobs you know you should have got, then you shouldn't be there. You should go 2 levels up, because that is a job where you're playing smaller than your station. That is a job where you're going to create a limited, you're going to have limited opportunities and then get mad at them for what they're not doing for you when you created the situation for yourself. So I want y'all, everybody on this line, to consider leveling up. 70% of my clients don't leave their jobs. They think their job is the problem, but where they are mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, they're out of alignment. Once they get into alignment with these things, they're promoted in the very same organization where they felt like a hostage. It's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. It's not them. I want you to take responsibility for how you're continuing to create these toxic situations and then blaming other people for what they're doing for you and doing to you when you're doing it to yourself by not owning how great you are and putting your crown on and going where you belong. Hey, Christy, Rutherford here. Have you joined me in my mentorship community yet? And if not, what are you waiting for? If you're not ready for the Vision Finder Masterclass, the mentorship community is going to be valuable to you to get you to the next level. It's only $300 a month. No obligation, no long-term contracts or commitments. You can jump in, figure out whether or not you like us, and then leave if you don't. I think you're going to stay because we're doing some amazing things in this community. It's time for you to dream bigger and get paid what you deserve. You don't have to work harder for it. You don't have to get another degree. You need to take accountability and responsibility for where you are right now and see who you already are. It's not as hard as you're making it. Join us in this community using the link below this video or go to prpcommunity.com. Join us, get this insight, use it, get paid what you desire and deserve. Take care. So, number one, you're overqualified. That's why you're not getting the interview. Number two, your resume is whack. Wizzack, wiggity, wiggity, whack. My niece likes crisscross. Because I'm the wiggity, 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 whack, daddy. Because I'm the wiggity, wiggity, wiggity. Okay, I'm going to get off that. Your resume is whack. Here's the thing. I created a course called How to Use the Superpower Method to Write an Irresistible Resume to Land You a High-Paying Job. And I started teaching 20 years ago officers how to write the officer evaluation reports, which is pretty much resume. I took the same training, scratched out OER, and an added resume. It's the exact same thing. It is you showing people how great you are. It is you telling people how great you are. It is you adequately taking credit for the work that you've done and putting it in a way that's quantifiable so everybody can understand how great you are. Period. It's the exact same thing. And so we now have the largest number of senior black officers in Coast Guard history. That was me. I want to be clear. I started training not just the black officers, but my direct reports. Some of them are still in. The ones who were when I was at a more junior level, when I started teaching them how to do this, they all retired as senior leaders in the organization, senior enlisted leaders. But my young junior officers are now in the top. There's an office that pretty much accounts for like the top 1% of people that are there. I got 2 of them that are in there. In the top 1% of the organization make it to this office. 2 of them in there. And one has, they're absolutely exceptional because they can tell you exactly who they are and what they've done. And it opens more doors for them where they are considered the cream of the crop because they are. Because look at who mentored them. But I've been doing this for years. And so if you're not taking time, and it is painful to sit down long enough to say, I've done this. This is what women don't want to do. You want to relegate that to a resume writer who promises to be like Rumpelstiltskin, to take the straw that you give them and turn it into gold. That's a lie. Because if you haven't told them what you've done, how are they going to spin it into what? A lie? And then you got this resume that's a lie, and you get into the interview and you have the imposter syndrome because what they wrote is not true. You don't need anybody to write anything other than what you've done. But the truth shall set you free. But it takes time and a system to be able to comb through what you've done and say, this is how great I am and this is what I've done, and say it in a way that an 8th grader can understand that you're the baddest chick that ever walked in a room. People who use industry jargon, lost. Every office has their own culture and they have their acronyms. And if you're only speaking to that one office to understand and an eighth grader can understand it, you lost how great you are in translation. And I sat on a lot of interview panels and boards to determine who was going to get promoted in an organization and then who we were going to allow into the organization, so at a recruitment level, and then who was going to be promoted in the organization. And I sat on the board, a lot of boards, where enlisted people wanted to become officers. So it was a whole package that they had to apply for us to select them to be able to be basically be promoted into the officer level. And so I remember one board in particular, the selection rate was 27%. And you have 6 different types of people in the room. So 6 people in the room, we all represented different industries in the organization. So you have me, pollution investigator, incident manager. When something pops off, an emergency happens, just like the Baltimore Bridge, my mentees are handling that. But that would have been me. Like chaos, that's where we show up. Then you had the people who were the boat drivers. Then you had the helicopter pilots. And then you had the HR function, and then you had we're all different. And so to look at over 200 packages, we're all going to see something different based on the perspective of our experience. But the people who said what they were and what they did in a way that we could all understand it, those were the first 10% of people that we chose where we all understood it. It was no question. This person right here is the greatest. A person that was a boat driver or a diver, I remember there was one guy in particular, oh my God, stuff he wrote, my God, everybody agreed, this guy's the greatest thing ever. Because he said it and we got excited and we're reading his resume. And the more we read it, the faster our heartbeat. So a resume, you have to be able to capture the person's attention in the first 10 seconds. If you haven't captured me in the beginning and the top, it's over. Gone. If you haven't got my attention by putting your awards at the top, not the whole thing that you're qualified for and all these box checks, put how great you are at the top. Hit them in the head with it. I'm the greatest thing ever. Like, bam, bam, bam. They'd be like, oh my God. Yo, I used to write my officer evaluation report. My boss, who was a hater, he was like, you wrote this about yourself? Yep, and it's true. Why you mad, hater? Because what I needed to do was to be able to adequately capture the work that I've done so I can get the performance reviews that I deserve. And I couldn't get the performance reviews that I didn't deserve, or that I deserve, if I'm not telling them how great I am. And they cross me anyway, but I'm going to at least make you give me what I deserve. So your resume has to capture a person's attention, and it has to get better with every page. Every section, it has to get better and better and better. Be like, my God. If they ain't looking at your resume, be like, my God. Well, call her now. Look, let me tell you something. You have done it. Period. You've done it. You just ain't told nobody. You've done it. It's just all a secret in your head. You've done it. You just don't think it's a big deal. You've done it. You've done the work. You just haven't taken credit for it. You're afraid to shine. I talked to women. I recorded 2 versions of that course because the first one I recorded, I was cussing. It was great though. That's for the known associates of Christy, brother. I was going crazy. These women were like, oh, I was told to dumb my resume down. It took a quarter of her salary. You dumbed your resume down and got into a dummy job. What are you talking about? Who told you? That's you trying to be underqualified or trying to be qualified in a job that you're overqualified for, which shows that you don't fit there. Y'all, make it make sense. Make it make sense. So, do the work on yourself to be able to systematically take credit for the work that you've done so you can tell people how great you are because you've done it. So if your resume is whack, you're not getting an interview. Last one, LinkedIn profile. Back in the day, the percentage was 92%. I don't know what it is right now, but 92% of hiring managers check a person's social media profile before they call them. Are you Tina Jackson on LinkedIn and Big Booty Red on Instagram? Are you Tina Jackson on LinkedIn and the Freak on TikTok? Right? Like, it matters because they check it. They want to know who you are. So you got that going on. The big booty mess. Let me get off that, but it's funny. And then does your LinkedIn profile adequately capture who you are? Or is it vanilla flavored and whack and don't say anything about how great you are? Just like your raggedy resume. If your resume is whack and your LinkedIn profile is whack, I mean, do people get excited when they read about you because you have stuff? You're not your own hype man, which is a problem. You got to be your own Flavor Flav. You got to be your own hype woman. If you're not hyping you up, why am I hyping you up? If you're not aware of how great you are, what is the hiring manager supposed to do? It's not their responsibility to tell you how great you are. And if you're not even telling people how great you are, you're hiding in the corner wanting to be liked. Please. When they continue to promote men over you again and again and again, and you playing victim like you're creating this. So does your LinkedIn profile, is it updated? I had a lady, I don't do it no more, so y'all get out my inbox asking me for free advice. I ain't got time. Asking me to look at her LinkedIn profile, and she don't understand why she getting hired. I said, because you're not saying anything. Oh, she's begging. I've been out of work for 9 months, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I was like, cool. Looked at the LinkedIn profile. It wasn't even updated. What you want me to do? I'm not Rumpelstiltskin. Right? Like, what? Ma'am, you didn't even do the basic. You didn't even do the one-on-one. You didn't even do, like, how are you in despair? And you want to get on my phone for a quick call, lie, but you want to get on my phone so I can tell you what to do when you have not even done the one-on-one, the basic thing of having a updated LinkedIn profile that shows how great you are with a professional picture that you don't need a $5,000 camera to take. You can take a picture with your cell phone with a white background and have this part. Like, it's not that hard, y'all. Y'all aren't doing it and you don't think that it matters, but it does. You can't be mad that people aren't selecting you and you have the right to free speech. And you can say all you want. LinkedIn, they got some of the nastiest comments. You better believe these people are searching your name and seeing whether or not how crazy you are. They're going to your post and seeing what you're commenting on. They're going to your post and seeing what you're saying to other people. They're going to your post to see if you're saying anything that matters. They're going to your Instagram and they're seeing you commenting on other people. They want to know on Facebook or TikTok, are you who you say you are? Because are you a risk coming into our organization? Are you a risk coming onto my team? Are you a risk coming into my ecosystem where I'm not going to invite a problem in the room? I'm not going to invite hell on my team. I don't care how qualified you are. Because you're 1 in 250 that have applied for this job. I'm not going to knowingly invite chaos into my organization. Because you're going to be a problem. So I'm going to search you. You better believe I'm going to look at your LinkedIn profile. I'm going to look at how you write. I'm going to look at how you talk. If it doesn't say anything, you're whack. I'm not bringing you in. And I'm going to say this. This is not going to be popular. Y'all come for me if you want to. I don't care. Some women are wearing neurodiverse as a job title. I don't understand it. Is neurodiverse, is that the new, I don't know what about to cuss. What is that? Y'all wear neurodiverse as a job title. I'm going to tell you something. This ain't going to be popular. I'm going to say it anyway. Elon Musk is one of the richest men in the world. He's on the spectrum. So you're now finding out at 45, 50, you got 3 master's degrees that you're on the spectrum, and now it's a disability. What are you talking about? Now you got this mental disorder. You got 3 master's degrees. You got a test that shows that for him it's brilliance. For you, it's a disorder. Make it make sense to me. For him, this man is one of the richest men in the world. Y'all talk about him all you want to. The man is brilliant.
Hey, Christy Rutherford here. I want to tell you about my resume course, how to use the superpower method to write an irresistible resume to land you a high-paying job. If you can't figure out why you can't get to the next level, if you think that they are barriers to your success, that's not it. If you haven't learned how to adequately take credit for the work that you've done, if you don't know how to articulate it and even give it to a resume writer that you've paid $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to, if you haven't given them the right information, then how can they output something that is of quality and value? So go ahead, get this course. It's less than $50. Get the information, use it, and write an irresistible resume that will get you the salary that you deserve today. So click on the link on around this video or go to thesuperpowermethod.com. Get it, use it, get paid what you deserve today.
And to you, it's a mental disability that somebody should let you in the door on. You're claiming to have it of why you don't like people and why you don't want to be around people and why you're not social and why you don't like being around people that you don't know. And so you're telling people you're already going to be a problem before you come here. You got it on your LinkedIn profile as a job title. You can't come on my team. You're already telling me that you're going to be a problem. That red flag, hell no. Nope. Scratch that. So, here's the thing about what I've noticed in the past 4 years. I said it 4 years ago. I'm still saying it today. I predicted this, but I don't know, were y'all listening? In 2020, when everybody started going crazy with COVID, I was like, I've been in the game for a long. Y'all, I was Googleable before LinkedIn was created. Okay? I was assisting people in their careers before the internet was created. Now, I know y'all think I'm a fine young tenderoni. I am. But I got some seasoning behind me. I created a website for black officers in my organization before Facebook was invented, so we could talk to each other and pass advice on how to be successful. I've been in the game for a long time. And so in 2020, when everybody started going crazy, I was like, okay, y'all ready to get to work? Because now you're locked in the house with your decisions. COVID didn't lock you in the house. COVID locked you in the house with your choices and the things that you weren't willing to admit to yourself. It locked you in the house with yourself. And so a lot of women put their head in the sand and hope for better days. A lot of women buried their head in the sand and hope that they could just make it through 20 and 2021, we would be okay. And then there was very few women who were like, Christy, you right, let me come work on myself. Very few women that was like, you know what? Let me become the master of my fate and the captain of my soul. Very few. I talked to thousands of women in 2020. They did nothing. I talked to thousands of women in 2020 who were on the brink of being laid off. They didn't know they were going to be laid off. They weren't sure if they were going to be laid off. And they buried their money like the talent. I've been waiting to quote this scripture. You took your one talent and you buried it in the sand hoping for better times. And we ended up doing, what, $4 million in salary raises in 2020 and 2021? So women were getting paid. I mean, we broke a seven-figure person in 2020. We doubled salaries in 2020 and 2021. And now we're at $15 million in salary raises in 2024. And so the women who chose to do nothing in 2020, hoping that 2021 would be better, you did nothing. You kept your head in the dirt. 2022, you just on life support right now because you're suffocating with your head in the dirt like an ostrich. And now in 2023, actually I think it started probably 2022. All this stuff, high functioning anxiety, high functioning depression, autism on the spectrum, not autism in particular, but adult autism. I never heard of this stuff before 2020. And I don't know if it was out there. One lady I met told me she was bipolar A. I was like, what is that? You're not bipolar A. You're out of position. You're an eagle on the ground clucking with the chickens, wondering why you don't belong. You're a lioness who's in the hyena den, wondering why they bite your butt and claw your back out. You're out of position, so it's easier for you to claim a mental medical condition than it is for you to double your salary. It's easier for you to say, I have a mental disorder, which is why I don't like these raggedy people that I'm around, as opposed to understanding that it's easier for you to claim that than it is for you to go where you belong. It's easier for you to file a complaint, an EEO complaint or a civil rights complaint on your petty co-workers than it is for you to go and double and triple your salary and go where you belong. You're out of position. So don't come over here telling me that you got a mental disorder when you're being lazy and not taking control of your mind. In 2024, it is warfare of your mental state. And I'm going to tell you something. Nobody's coming to save you. Not one. People aren't responsible for your mental and your physical health. Your managers aren't responsible for your mental and your physical health. Nobody is coming to save you, sis. You better save yourself. So wearing the neurodiverse label and saying that you're going to be a problem when you walk in the door, red flag. Talk about me all you want to, but if you're not getting hired, that's the reason why. You're not. This man can't be the richest man in the world and considered one of the most brilliant people, and you're on the spectrum, and it's a disorder. I don't get it. Make it make sense. I truly believe that people who are on the spectrum, per se, are some of the most brilliant people to walk the planet. You're allowing somebody to negatively label your gift. You're allowing somebody to negatively label how you see yourself, as opposed to somebody who's in your face, a worldwide public figure who's lauded, and you over here laying down. That's what you're gonna have to work out for yourself, on how you're allowing external labels to come out of nowhere and tell you that you're a loser, and you agree with it because you've done nothing. I don't know how I got on that when we talking about these jobs, but I mean it, right? So number one, the reason why you're not getting an interview, you're overqualified. 2, your resume is whack. Number 3, your LinkedIn profile is whack, and you're not being how great you say you are. So I'm going to stop right there and open this up for some questions. All right, do we have anybody who got any questions on the line? I kind of went off on a tangent, but I meant it.
How do we improve or emphasize our brand on LinkedIn, Christy?
So the thing about having a brand on LinkedIn is just you being who you are. A lot of times people think that a personal brand is something external to yourself, or I need to go tap dance to this, or I need to people like this, so let me go do this, or people want me to have this conversation. It's really you being who you are. And it's interesting because when I was first on LinkedIn, and I was a military officer, and a paranoid, high achieving, high ranking military officer, like we're paranoid, like we're taught to be paranoid. And being one of 50 black women officers out of 47,000 people, the tightrope that I used to have to walk, right, was like the what I could say publicly. I can't be caught on YouTube doing outside stuff, right? Like, so I'm paranoid that they're out to get me. So when I first started talking online, I'm very plain, very vanilla, very professional. And I started working with a marketing coach who actually met me in person. And he's looking at my profile and what I say and how I talk on social media. He's looking at me like, these are two different people. He said, Christy, you need to start doing videos because your personality is massive. People need to see that. So I was like, okay. So then I started talking, but I started talking from a very, because I'm a lot, which y'all see now, because y'all have caught me on the other end of me just being who I am. It's a lot. It's overwhelming to most people, but it's just who I am. And so it took time for me to become comfortable with showing all it is and just being who I am. And that's when I started to attract my clients. That's when I started to become more successful. And one day somebody said somebody did something, I don't know. But whenever I'm yelling, I'm actually and talking about people, telling the story, I'm actually talking about somebody. And somebody, I don't know, these women made me mad. And so I ended up doing a video. I just went off. And women loved it. And I was like, y'all like that? Because that's actually how I really talk. Which is now what you've seen in the past year is normal. Like, I just went for it. And they were like, oh my God. And I was, oh, y'all like that? Because I really talk like that. So it's taking me time to introduce who I am authentically to the market because I was afraid. This is probably 5-6 years ago. But I would say even in the past 3 years, it's just owning who I am and letting the chips fall where they may. So I offer to you and my clients is just be who you are, because who you are is going to attract who wants you. Being who you are is going to align you with the opportunities that are readily available to you.
Hey, Christy Rutherford here. Have you joined me on my mentorship community? And if not, what are you waiting for? According to a Bain study, 90% of women who got to the executive level had sponsors and mentors. And if you don't have a mentor, how do you expect to get to the next level? In this community, not only do I have my signature resume course and my course, 7 Keys to Getting the Raise, Bonus, or Promotion That You Desire and Deserve, I show up and answer your questions live. So if you want to get to the next level in your career, if you're ready to stop procrastinating and get things done, join us in this community. It's only $2.99 a month. Go to the link prpmentor.com or use the link on around this video. I can't wait to see you on the inside and answer your questions and get you to your next level of success. Take care.
Forwarding posts that are relevant to your market is one thing. Forwarding Inc. articles, Harvard Business Review articles, and then putting something on your take on it and sharing that insight of what you think is valuable to the people in your industry is a way to be able to also build your brand and your credibility. Writing LinkedIn newsletters about what your insight is about feedback or whatever you want to write about, right? Like whatever's relevant in your industry. Y'all are all senior women. Y'all have advice. Advice I would give my 21-year-old self is a game changer. So people love that stuff. Don't be sharing no freaking puppy videos. You can see on my post where I got like 35,000 followers on Instagram. I don't have 200,000. Not Instagram, but LinkedIn. Actually, they're about the same now. I don't have 2 million followers or 200,000 connections. I'm not talking to everybody. Right? Like, if I wanted to share, be popular, have 2 million connections, I would share puppy videos. Because puppy videos are neutral. That's not why I came here. I came here to be effective. I came here to get women out of their own way. I came here to beat women in the head so they can ask for the money that they deserve. So I would rather be effective than to be popular. And are you surrendering being effective with being popular? Are you sharing the easy stuff or the stuff where y'all are always blaming leaders for not being great leaders, which is insane, than it is you just telling people how great you are? Did that answer your question?
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, it did.
You got one more question?
Yes, I think that, just one more.
Okay.
So when we are looking at the adverts or any positions that we want to apply, you said you have to look for something that challenges you and not just something that you smoothly fit in. But for me to be able to be prepared, so if I take the first step and say, okay, I'm getting in for this challenge now, and something motivates me, how do I prep myself to face it? Because somewhere, I know in your previous podcast, you talked about something that from inside says, oh, there's a fear inside you. How do you conquer that and move forward to prove yourself? Because once you get selected, I don't want to apply and then say, oh, I just hope I get selected and I don't perform well in the interview. So changing that.
You should apply for 6
at the application stage. Sorry.
Well, there's several things, right? So that's the work. The work is a part of the work that I do with my clients isn't teaching them anything outside of themselves. So what women will do, women will invest intuition as opposed to investing intuition. Intuition is becoming a master of yourself. You becoming educated on who you are and how great you are. That's what we do. So we're not teaching you cloud formations and the mating rituals of a freaking grasshopper. I'm not teaching my clients how to write a resume. I'm teaching them to own how great they are, or understand what's stopping them from seeing how great they are. And a part of you getting prepared is for you to sit down. What I talked about with the resume course, it's if you sit down long enough to take accountability for who you are, then you won't have fear because you'll know exactly who you are. You haven't quantified who you are to yourself first. Once you see how great you are, it's game over after that. Once we get our clients in alignment with how great they are and remove whatever's stopping them from seeing that, we just back up. The job is automatic. Like, so I'm not teaching them how to get a job. I'm teaching them how to own how great they are, that they can't see it because they got some stuff that has happened and life has rolled them over the coals. Once I know they see how great they are, they're going to beat the brakes off the game after that. That's the work. So we're reverse engineering in the way that it's supposed to be done, but we're focused on everything except for ourselves. Did that answer your question?
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's more
Great.
of getting ready mentally so that you can get into the combat mode.
It's about owning how great you already are. You got to get ready for that. You are that. You are it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Money Loves Happy People. Again, I'm your host, Christy Rutherford. Go ahead and like and subscribe to this podcast. Drop us a comment. Let me know how you like it, and share this episode with somebody that you care about. Until the next episode, take care. Holla.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Your support is greatly appreciated. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast. What I want you to ponder on this week: what is your greatest takeaway from this episode, and what is one action you're going to take to change your life for the better? Lastly, get your pay gap calculator to see how your pay compares to the market value of what others are getting paid. Text pay gap, all one word, to 66866. Again, pay gap to 66866, or use the link below this video or podcast. Get this insight, use it, and get paid what you desire and deserve. See you in the next episode.